IELTS Speaking Part 1. Flying. Question 1. Are there many airlines in your country? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, there are several airlines in Japan. For example, ANA and JAL are very famous. Band 7 answer. Yes, Japan has a number of airlines. The two most famous ones are ANA and JAL, and they connect many cities across the country. There are also some budget airlines like Peach that make it cheaper to travel. Band 8 answer. Yes, Japan has quite a few airlines, ranging from major carriers like ANA and JAL to low-cost airlines such as Peach and Jetstar Japan. These airlines make both domestic and international travel convenient. For instance, business travelers often prefer ANA for its service, while students and young people sometimes choose budget airlines to save money. Question 2. Have you ever flown anywhere? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, I have flown before. I went from Tokyo to Osaka by plane. Band 7 answer. Yes, I have flown a few times. For example, I took a flight from Tokyo to Osaka. It was very fast, only about 1 hour, which saved me time compared to taking the train. Band 8 answer. Yes, I've flown several times, both inside and outside Japan. For instance, I once flew from Tokyo to Osaka, which only took about an hour. I've also flown to South Korea for a short trip. I found flying very convenient, especially compared to long train rides. Question 3. Where would you like to fly? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I would like to fly to Hokkaido. I want to see the snow. Band 7 answer. I would like to fly to Hokkaido, especially in winter. I want to see the snow and enjoy hot springs there. I think it would be relaxing and fun. Band 8 answer. I would really like to fly to Hokkaido in winter. The scenery is beautiful, with snow-covered mountains, and there are famous hot springs like Noborobetsu. I also want to try skiing and taste fresh seafood there. I think flying would be the easiest way to reach Hokkaido compared to taking the train. Question 4. Are you scared of flying? Model answer. Band 6 answer. No, I am not scared of flying. I think it is safe. Band 7 answer. No, I'm not really scared of flying. I sometimes feel a little nervous during takeoff or turbulence, but overall I trust airlines. They have good safety records. Band 8 answer. No, I don't feel scared of flying. Of course, there are moments like turbulence that can make me uneasy, but I remind myself that flying is one of the safest ways to travel. For example, Japanese airlines such as ANA and JAL are known for their excellent safety standards, so I usually feel very secure when I fly with them. IELTS Speaking Part 2. A beautiful object. Describe an object you find particularly beautiful. You should say, where the artwork or object is, how it was made, what it looks like, and explain why you find it particularly beautiful. You have 1 minute to prepare. You have 2 minutes to talk. Model answer. Band 6 answer. One object I find beautiful is a traditional Japanese folding fan. I saw it in a souvenir shop in Kyoto when I was traveling. It was displayed together with many other cultural items, but this one really caught my attention. The fan was handmade with bamboo and paper. The bamboo sticks were very thin and smooth, and the paper was painted with pink cherry blossoms. It looked light, but at the same time very detailed. I think it is beautiful because it looks simple but elegant. The cherry blossoms reminded me of spring in Japan, which is my favorite season. I also felt that the fan showed Japanese culture in a very traditional way. Band 7 answer. One object I find particularly beautiful is a traditional Japanese folding fan, which I noticed in a small craft shop in Kyoto. At first, I thought it was just a simple souvenir, but when I looked closer, I could see the fine details that made it stand out from the others. The fan was carefully made by hand, using thin pieces of bamboo for the frame and strong handmade paper for the surface. The paper had a painting of cherry blossoms, with soft pink and white colors. The blossoms were drawn in a way that looked very natural, almost like they were moving in the wind. What impressed me most was the combination of usefulness and beauty. On the one hand, it's something practical that you can use in hot weather. On the other hand, it looks like a piece of art, and I could easily imagine hanging it on a wall for decoration. I find it beautiful because it represents Japanese culture. The cherry blossom design reminded me of spring in Kyoto, when people go out to enjoy hanami, or cherry blossom viewing. So, for me, this object carries not only artistic value but also cultural meaning. Band 8 answer. An object that I find particularly beautiful is a traditional Japanese folding fan, or sensu, which I discovered in a small handicraft shop in Kyoto. It wasn't the most expensive item in the shop, but its design and elegance really made it stand out to me. The fan was crafted with thin strips of bamboo that had been polished until they were smooth, and the frame was covered with handmade Japanese paper. On the paper, there was a hand-painted scene of cherry blossoms at sunset. The background had a golden tone, and the soft pink petals looked as though they were gently floating in the wind. The delicate details showed how much effort and skill the artisan put into it. What I find most striking is the cultural meaning behind it. In Japan, cherry blossoms symbolize the beauty and shortness of life, and seeing that image on a fan made it feel poetic. It reminded me that even everyday objects can carry deep messages about nature and human experience. It also reflects the Japanese idea of finding beauty in simplicity, which I really admire. When I looked at this fan, it brought back memories of springtime in Kyoto, when the streets are filled with cherry trees in bloom. It made me feel nostalgic, but also proud that Japanese culture values art in daily life. I find this fan particularly beautiful because it combines three things at once: practicality, artistic beauty, and cultural symbolism. To me, it is not just an object to cool yourself with, but also a piece of heritage that shows how Japanese people appreciate elegance in even the smallest details. IELTS Speaking Part 3. A beautiful object. Question 1. Do you think there are more beautiful things now than in the past? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I think there are more beautiful things now because we have better technology. For example, people can design nice buildings and make good products with modern machines. In the past, things were more simple, so I feel now we can see more beautiful things around us. Band 7 answer. In my opinion, there are more beautiful things now compared to the past, mainly because of technological progress. For instance, architecture in Tokyo shows how modern design and materials can create very attractive buildings, such as the Tokyo Skytree. At the same time, I think traditional crafts like kimono or pottery also remain beautiful, but today we have a wider variety to appreciate. Band 8 answer. I believe the concept of beauty has expanded rather than simply increased. In the past, people admired natural scenery, traditional temples, and handmade crafts. Nowadays, with technology and global exchange, we can appreciate modern skyscrapers, digital art, or even the design of everyday objects like smartphones. For example, when I walk around Kyoto, I can still admire the timeless beauty of shrines, but in Tokyo, I also find beauty in neon lights or innovative product design. So I wouldn't say beauty only belongs to the past or the present, it has just become more diverse. Question 2. Do you think there are many scenic spots in your country, or are there many more in other countries? Model answer. Band 6 answer. I think Japan has many scenic spots, like Mount Fuji or Kyoto temples. But other countries also have nice places. For example, Paris has the Eiffel Tower, and America has the Grand Canyon. So both Japan and other countries have many scenic places. Band 7 answer. I would say Japan has a wide variety of scenic spots, from natural places like Mount Fuji to cultural sites like Kyoto's temples and Nara's shrines. However, other countries also have amazing attractions. For example, when I see pictures of the Swiss Alps, I feel they are very different from Japanese mountains. So it really depends on what kind of scenery you are looking for. Japan has many, but the world also offers unique beauty. Band 8 answer. I think Japan is fortunate to have both natural and cultural scenic spots. For example, Hokkaido is famous for its lavender fields, while Okinawa has stunning beaches, and Kyoto preserves ancient temples. That said, every country has its own iconic landscapes. Europe has castles, Iceland has volcanoes and waterfalls, and Australia has the Great Barrier Reef. I wouldn't compare them as more or less, because each place reflects its own culture and environment. Personally, I think traveling abroad helps me appreciate Japan's beauty even more, because I can see how unique our scenery is compared to other countries. Question 3. Why do people enjoy looking at beautiful things? Model answer. Band 6 answer. People like to look at beautiful things because they feel happy. For example, when I see flowers, I feel relaxed. Beautiful things make people enjoy life more. Band 7 answer. I think people enjoy beauty because it gives them positive emotions and sometimes inspiration. For example, when I visit a beautiful garden in Japan, like Kenroku-in in Kanazawa, I feel peaceful and creative. Beautiful things can reduce stress and make daily life more enjoyable. Band 8 answer. In my opinion, people are naturally attracted to beauty because it satisfies both emotional and psychological needs. On one hand, beautiful things like nature or art provide relaxation and reduce stress. On the other hand, they can also inspire creativity and even give people a sense of identity. For example, traditional Japanese gardens are not just attractive, they represent harmony and balance, which reflect values in Japanese culture. So beauty is more than just appearance, it can shape how people think and feel. Question 4. Do you think people's idea of beauty will change in the future? Model answer. Band 6 answer. Yes, I think people's idea of beauty will change. In the past, people liked simple clothes, but now people like modern fashion. In the future, maybe people will like different styles. Band 7 answer. I believe people's idea of beauty is always changing. For example, traditional Japanese hairstyles and clothes were considered beautiful in the past, but today modern fashion is more popular. In the future, technology like virtual reality may also change what people think is beautiful, because people can experience new kinds of art and design. Band 8 answer. Definitely, beauty standards will continue to evolve. In the past, beauty was defined by traditional elements like kimono, gardens, or calligraphy. Today, many people are influenced by global trends, such as Western fashion or digital design. In the future, I think environmental concerns may shape our sense of beauty. For example, people might value eco-friendly architecture or sustainable products more than purely decorative ones. So beauty is not static, it reflects society's values at each moment in history.
Congrats on making it to the end of this video, and kudos to you if you did all that practice. You are amazing. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And you can also add my official LINE account that's in the profile. And if you do this, then I can send you a free phrases guide that you can use for your practice. All right, happy studying. See ya.